Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're talking about the announcement that just dropped. We finally have the official word that we are getting a second anniversary update with an event, and the event was teased in the original update 3.0 patch notes. We saw pictures there, but we're finally getting the actual event. And what the event entails, if you're not familiar, there will be 3 stages of a brand new event type mission that you can play near the epic quest on that bar there at the bottom. And when you click into it, when you zone in, you'll see these 3 stages: easy, medium, and hard. In this case, for this second year Guardians of the Galaxy theme anniversary, we're going to be playing against the Ravagers and Yondu, which is pretty cool considering they didn't decide to buff Yondu or give him a new uniform or anything for the movie. So I guess this is consolation or something. Anyways, and when you play these stages, when you beat them, which I think you can do with any level 60 6-star character, I don't even think they need to be tier 2. Anyways, when you beat them, you will get some gold, some dimension debris, I think, and more importantly, or most importantly, you will get tokens, these pink tokens. Now, these pink tokens are important because you can redeem them in a second anniversary store for really good prizes. And what are these really good prizes? Well, the top prize this year is a tier 2 advancement ticket. But this tier 2 advancement ticket is the same one that we get every month, and it just tier 2's a character. It's not a mega ticket. And that costs 580 tokens, and that's a 1 purchase per player, per account, per whatever. So that's pretty cool. We're going to get at least 580 tokens from this event. This event appears to be running for either 14 or 15 days, and you can check it out in the menu. If you scroll down to the scheduled one, you can see that it starts in 1 day and 3 hours, or it starts 24 hours from the drop of this video. So it's easy to remember. Now, the interesting thing about this event stage for this year is that it claims you can acquire a limited edition comic card. We're going to get to the limited edition comic card in a second, but let's first look at some of the other things you can get. You can get biometrics for Mantis, Star-Lord, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Yondu, Nebula, and Drax. You can get certain number of tokens or certain number of bios for 7 tokens. We don't know how many just yet. Now, generally speaking, that's a pretty awful deal, and I would not recommend it unless they give a shit ton of bios, like 50 or something like that. The only really worthwhile person from there would be, Groot for PvP and alliance-related stuff, Mantis if you want to have fun, and Star-Lord for the leadership. The rest are pretty much garbage. I'm really not kidding you. Those are not great characters to invest in. On top of that, the only other reason that you should consider getting the bios is if you need to feed bios to a Black Order character. So if you're building up Odin or Dormammu or someone like that, and you need to level them up, well, it's going to require biometrics. And if you don't have any extras lying around, when you go to press that plus sign, if they're not max level, then you can buy those bios. But that's probably a bad idea. You want to save your tokens for one of 2 prizes: the tier 2 advancement ticket, or in this case, the Guardians of the Galaxy card chest. Now, here is where I have a bit of a gripe with Netmarble, and here is where I have issue. The comic card chest, the Guardians of the Galaxy comic card chest, doesn't actually just include the new comic card. And the new comic card, although we don't know the exact stats, is purported to have the following stats: max HP, all attack, and attack speed as the first 3 fixed stats, and then these variable stats at 4, 5, and 6, which go, as listed. Ideally, the stats you would roll on this card for 4, 5, and 6, if you had it at mythic level, which is what you want every card to be with 6 stars, would look something like this: max HP, all attack, attack speed, cooldown on the 4th, and then either energy attack or ignore defense on the 5th, and finally physical attack on the 6th. So, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I'm going to hear a lot of you saying, Cynicalex, why are there 3 fixed stats? Well, it's just like the Korean cards. As you can see there are 3 orange stats. Those stats, when you upgrade the card, when you re-roll it, will never change. Similarly with this one, the numbers can change depending on the grade of the card. So this is a 2 grade card, so the numbers there are lower, 8% and 8%, than this card, which is a 7 grade card, so it has 11 and 11. But as you can see with the Loki, there's only 2 fixed stats, which is what normal cards have, 2 fixed stats. But this new Avengers card, or this new, Guardians of the Galaxy card to commemorate the movie, has 3, just like the Korean cards, which both of these are a part of. Now, this is kind of the hot button issue. The chest also contains all of the other Guardians of the Galaxy cards that you can get from Dimension Rifts, like this Groot card, which is good, but definitely not something that I would spend my, tier 2 token reserve on. Other cards like the Nebula card, the Star-Lord card, and like this is the Star-Lord card right here. There's another card. All of these cards are possible to get in that box. Okay, they're the same ones that you get from the Dimension Rifts when you go in either Nebula's Rift or Yondu's Rift or Star-Lord's Rift or Groot's Rift. Here's where I kind of have an issue. There's not a guarantee that we're going to get this card, first of all. Second of all, the card is really not perfect, okay? You have to choose between energy attack or ignore defense on the 5th slot, and it's also not guaranteed that you're going to even get that. So you could get this card, you could build it up to 6 stars, and then you could continuously re-roll it and never get a good roll on it. Now, I know that this is going to be a very enticing thing for new players because they see, oh my god, it's a Korean card. I really want it. It's basically the same thing. The power level, it's insane. I need it. It's exclusive. Yes, it is exclusive, and yes, it's probably the best thing to spend your tokens on, because even if it's just one card affects all of your characters on your entire roster all the time, versus one tier 2 ticket, which is just useful for one character. However, costing 60 tokens means that it's not a guarantee that you'll even get the card if you spend all of your tokens on it, because 580 tokens, 600 or 60 tokens per roll means you're only going to get 9 tries to get this card. That's not that many tries. And if there's, I don't know how many cards are going to be in the chest, but if they put more than 5 or 6 cards in, there's a pretty decent chance some people are going to walk away with nothing. And that's really where I'm a little bit upset. They have this anniversary event, they have this thing for the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's centered around RNG. It's centered around a gacha event where it's like, hey, you might get something good, or you might get nothing. And on top of that, they've allowed us the opportunity, or there's rumors that they're going to allow us the opportunity to buy more tokens with crystals. That really feels a little dirty, okay? And I don't want to, overreact and blow this out of proportion, because there are some reports that it's, 50 crystals for 50 tokens. So that's really not a big deal. You can buy 3 rolls or 2 rolls for 150 crystals. That's really no big deal. You have to pay at least 600 crystals to get one card in the shop, and the card is random. So if you look at it that way, the pool of cards you can get is much smaller. It's really not an awful deal, but it just feels dirty. This is supposed to be an anniversary event to say thank you to us, the fans, the players, for keeping this game alive for 2 years. This is supposed to be an event to commemorate the game, not to dig into our pockets. Not to be like, hey, you want something that's pretty good but rare, fork over the tokens, and possibly fork over your cash and your crystals. And I'm just like, what the... I'm not happy with this. I really don't think that it's really good, and on top of it all, I'm conflicted because the card is not even perfect. The card has some stats, I don't want attack speed as a fixed third stat. I would prefer cooldown as a fixed third stat, for example, or I would even prefer cooldown to be one of the first 2 stats. All attack is the best second stat, but max HP is not the best stat. None of my cards have max HP as any of their rolls on the top orange ones, because it's a secondary stat. So on top of making this event kind of feel slimy, they went out of their way to make the card not overpowered. So you don't want to give us something that's overpowered, and you want to make us roll the dice for it, and it potentially gets screwed over and end up with nothing. All for the sake of what? This is the culmination of your 2-year anniversary event? Listen, I think this one was a little bit mishandled. Maybe I'm in the minority, maybe not, but it just feels like this is a little dirty, this is a little bit skeezy, and it's to what end, basically. What I'm trying to say. To what end? If this is the way that you thank your fans, by not even upgrading characters like Drax and Gamora, by giving us characters that we don't want, like Whiplash, and then Mantis is the only good character to come out of the update other than Agent Venom, this is all you got for the big 2-year anniversary. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'm a little bit conflicted, and I don't want to sound like a whiner, or I don't want to sound like I'm blowing it out of proportion, but this does leave a bit of a lump in my throat. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are on this take and on the new card and all that good stuff. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.